Hello everybody, this is Brad from Johnson Small Engines. We are looking at a Sears Craftsman 26-inch path 4-cycle snow thrower, self-propelled. Just want to show you how to operate it. This is actually called the quiet technology. Now what that means is that they put an oversized muffler on this thing and it made it a lot quieter. It's actually very nice and quiet. I actually like it. The motors, they're China, but they work. As far as gasoline, this is a 4-cycle engine, so you're going to fill that with gas, with just straight gas. Like I said before on previous videos, the True Fuel is great for snowblowers. It's a little pricey, but for the cost, it doesn't go bad, for a long time like gas does, and it's great to put in snowblowers. So we have a full tank of gas. We have our oil on this side, oil dipstick right here. Basically, you just pull it out. You're going to wipe it off, and then you're gonna push it back in. Now we just changed the oil, and the oil is pretty much perfect on this thing, but you want to make sure you wipe that off with a rag. Screw it back in, pull it back out, check it, and just do that, I would say, twice before you go to start it. Just make sure that you're on a level there. We have your carburetor down here as far as your stop and run and your choke and all this. Now I like to put on the stop, run, because there's nothing on here showing where everything goes. So I like to write stuff down for my customers so it's easy for them to see, and also for you guys at home, you can also do the same thing on your machines. So we have run, which is here. Now granted, yes, it's right under the primer bulb, but it says primer right on the bulb, and everybody pretty much knows if you're running a snowblower, this is the primer bulb. This run and stop is for this lever here. This is your throttle lever, and of course you have your on and off switch. I would recommend, if you drill a small hole in this thing, put a piece of line on it and strap that to your machine so you don't lose it. I've actually never heard of anybody really losing these things, but I could see it happening at some point. Got to make sure that that's in. Make sure you're at least half throttle, maybe 3/4 throttle. I don't like to run them at full speed as soon as I start them, so I usually start them about 3/4 throttle or half. Down here we have the choke, and this one's very confusing, so that's why I put the on, off, and choke on here, choke off. So you want to make sure it's on. We'll make sure about half throttle, and we're going to prime it probably 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Pull cords here. You also have an electric starter over here. I'm just going to pull start it. As soon as it starts, you take the choke off. And if it's in good running condition and it's not too cold outside, it may run just like this is now, or you may need to leave it on choke for a little while just to get it warmed up. So make sure that after it's warmed up, you take it off the choke. Make sure it's in the off position. And then before you run it, you want to make sure you're at the full speed. Now this one, as you can hear, very, very quiet, very nice. That is one thing nice about this quiet technology. It makes it nice. Now we have gotten into some of the starters before. With this one here, it's just you have a starter cord that comes with the machine. Plug it in here. Plug that directly into your outlet. Do not go more than like the 10-foot that they give you when you buy the machine. They should give you a cord. Buttons on this side, on this one, to start it, and you should only hit this button for a few seconds. Don't crank it for more than, I'd say probably 10 to 15 seconds is long enough. If it doesn't start after that, then it's not going to start. Something's wrong. And just go through your basics again. As far as the operation up here, on your handle assembly, you have your gears, forward and reverse. You have your, this is actually for your chute, and this is a pretty nice feature. You got to push your button in again up in front here, and then left and right for your chute to work. And it has the manual on the top here for which way it's shooting out at. It's just manual, and it has a lever here that you just have to tighten up. You probably have to tighten these more than not because they get loose here. We try to snug up the one nut on one side. That's a locking nut. We snug that up, and then we give you the option to really tighten up with this side here with this. That's why they give you this wing nut on this side. All right, a plastic one there. As far as your auger control, pretty self-explanatory. Auger's on the left. When you engage this, you want to feel some pretty good tension, and usually if you feel good tension, it starts just right about here. That means your tension for your auger is good, and you want to make sure you have good tension right about there. Anywhere from here down should be pretty taut, and this one is because we just serviced it. If you feel like it really floppy, then if it's just real mushy going down, that means you don't have any tension on your belt, which means that if you get into heavy snow, you can actually have your belt get all worn out and then not work for you. This one has a pretty easy adjustment. This is the cable that comes down from your handle for your auger. Right here we have 2 bolts. This is usually a 10 millimeter, sometimes they're 3/8. This one here is normally already ready to slide. Like this one you don't have to loosen. You loosen up the top one. You see these right inside here, you have slots up and down. So to tighten this cable up, you just loosen the top one, push this down, and then you screw in that bolt to tighten it up. Now we have a lot of play right here. We have a 1/4 inch that we can use. We can push this down. But I think we put a new belt on this thing, and it's very taut right now, so he has plenty of adjustment. If you get all the way down and there's no adjustment left, that usually means there's a sign of a worn belt. You probably have to replace it, but this is just how we operate the machine, so that's another video. So again, auger control on the left side. The right side is your speed control. I don't recommend putting your in gears unless you're running the machine, because it actually has a rubber drive disc underneath there, and once you engage this, your rubber drive disc is actually rolling on another disc, and so it's easier to get your gears to move forward and backward when the machine is actually running. 6 forward speeds and 2 reverse speeds, and they're self-explanatory. You hit your drive down and you just move forward and backward accordingly, and that's pretty much the operation of the Sears snowblower. There is one mechanism here that's actually pretty nice when you're blowing snow. If you hold your drive down for your wheels and then you hold your auger down and you let go of your auger, it actually stays down on the auger side. So you can actually one-handedly, if you're doing something that you had to take your hand off, that it'll actually keep blowing the snow as you're working it. Now you just have to unlock your auger or your drive for your wheels, and it will automatically disengage the augers itself, which is a pretty nice feature. So push your drive down, lock in your auger, and you can, if you have to, you can do this one-handed, which I am. But anyway, that's how you unlock and lock your auger. I will show you that, since we're here, these are called shear pins, and they put them in the handles here, which is actually a nice place to put them. And the shear pins are designed if you hit rocks or something in your augers, which will come around to the front and show you that. Your augers here have shear pins in them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all we do is we just check to make sure they're not sheared. But you can just, now when they're sheared, normally you're gonna lose this. You won't see it. And what you have to do is you have to poke the old one out, find a center where the hole goes through, and then the shear pins up on your handlebars, that were the nice place for them. Then you're just gonna replace them. Now this one has 4. A lot of them only have 2, and a lot of them actually have bolts. But as far as this goes, this is just shear pins with that little clip on there. It's a very nice feature, and they have some on the handles. I would definitely keep extras just in case. As far as this guy here, this is actually your handle to unclog your chute, so you can unclog it if it ever gets clogged up. I would recommend turning off the machine before you use the tool to unclog it. And of course, the handle goes on the opposite side of where the chute goes, so you don't have to put your hand in front of that chute. That's pretty much how to operate this snowblower. If you have any questions, you can always email me through my website at johnsonsmallengine.com, and thanks for watching.